you have to send the message that we're here and we're interested in considering your application, right? That we're very competitive, and so if you're a good student, we'd like to be able to consider your application. But then beyond that, I think we need to communicate what is here and what the University of Florida is for example, a freshman student, that we offer a fantastic program. We have certainly one of the most active extracurricular programs in the nation. We have a world-class faculty. We have any subject. We're one of the most comprehensive universities in the nation. So if you come here and you decide to major in sports science or philosophy or engineering or pre-vet, I mean, we've got it all here on this campus. So I think there are lots of messages, lots of information, if you will, that we need to communicate to the population at large that we've not succeeded in doing. The University of Florida placed more students into medical school than any other university in the nation. Not into our medical school, but just placed them afterwards. And that's a pretty compelling statement, if it's still true. I mean, we'd need to, but I mean, we place a lot of students into professional schools. And so again, if you want to maximize your chances, you want to go to a school that knows how to do it. We have excellent pre-professional programs of very high quality. You have the opportunity to do research here with world-class scientists, and doing research these days, an undergraduate research experience, is a big consideration, a big factor in getting into these professional schools oftentimes. So you have that opportunity here, whereas you may not have it at other universities. And we have placement records that demonstrate the success. We are one of the largest producers of masters and PhDs in the sciences in the nation. Okay, that's one aspect of the University of Florida. And so in fact, as you finish your undergraduate career, particularly if it's in some field of science, there are multiple opportunities for you to continue your education, make an acquaintance with a scientist or a mentor, and to continue your education at the University of Florida if you want. For one thing, we are one of the most comprehensive universities in the nation. I mean, we have more things on one campus than anyone else in the nation, with the exception, I think, of 3 or 4 other campuses we compare ourselves to. And secondly, we are a member of the Association of American Universities. You may have heard that before, you may not have, but you'll hear it again as you go through these interviews. And there are about 60 top research universities in the nation that comprise that group, and we are a member of it, which is a statement about the quality of what we do. So we're not only very big and very broad, but we're also very deep with a lot of expertise here. And so if you come here as a student, you can take courses from members of the National Academy of Sciences, the National Institute of Medicine. You're actually talking to professors who are on the cutting edges of various research fields. We're now they're digging a new Panama Canal, and we are down there as they dig that canal with archaeological digs. We just discovered the first primate ever found in Central America, which is a really thrilling thing. We'll be on the cover of probably on the cover of Science magazine. With our biologists discovered Titanoboa, which was a 40-foot prehistoric snake that. I mean, there's lots of anecdotes one can give, but the point is that we do some really impressive stuff in a lot of different fields.
Science writers, our own writers, they do their best to kind of put things in more of general terms so that the general public can kind of understand where the benefits are. So it kind of goes back to what I said before. I'm more interested in the research breakthroughs that kind of relate that I can kind of directly relate to people than something that is closer to, hey, we got a huge grant, which is a big deal, and sometimes we will post that we got an enormous grant for a particular project, but we have to come up with things that are relatable to people.
Because it's about managing the expectation, so they're able to state early and often what it takes to get into Duke. Really, this is what it takes to be admitted. And so it's not a surprise. And the university from where I came, Maryland, is very similar to Florida. years ago, they joked and said all you needed was a heartbeat to get into Maryland. Well, Maryland now, between Maryland and Florida, they're ranked the same, 4.0, amazing SATs. It's not your parents' university any longer. Well, that has come as a surprise to parents when their kids are applying and they've got really solid B averages. They're just not admittable. And so that shouldn't be a surprise. And it shouldn't be a surprise to parents that everything a child does from ninth grade on counts. And so what Duke does is they educate very early so that they're able to manage that expectation. At Florida, as was my experience at Maryland, it was, I think, a little easy to get admitted to Florida years ago. That is not the case any longer, and it hasn't been for a while. That's a surprise to legacies, and it offends them. And I had some really tough conversations.
What do you mean?
Offends them because their kid's rejected. And the kid's got a 3.2, 26 SAT, and frankly, that just doesn't even get you in the ball game. And how do you say that to a parent with a kid with a 3.2? That's a good kid, right? But because we've not really been communicating our academic success and what it takes for a student today to be admitted, they're like, wow, my kid's worked hard.